Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning practice. We're going to be spending the next hour and a half together. This is a what we call the boot camp, where we would practice intensely for an hour and a half, hoping that will give you some momentum for your own practice during the week. So, what we actually practice here is called the four foundation of mindfulness. Mindfulness is sati. It means being very mindful of your presence, and it's called the four foundations because the foundation comes from the Pali word upasana. So it's the foundation of mindfulness is sati upasana, and it has four aspects to it. One is the body, then is the feeling, then is the mind, then is what is called dharma. So we're basically practicing the mindfulness of the body and a little bit of the mindfulness of the feeling, particularly the one that has to do with the feeling that comes from the body. So we're going to be practicing initially in two separate segments with a little bit of relaxation in between. The first one, we would practice on the body, and then we'll sit for 3 minutes contemplating on the body. Then we're going to do some more exercise. Then we're going to do a relaxation routine. Then we're going to practice some more. Then we're going to sit for another 3 minutes where we would practice on the contemplation of the breath. Now, sometimes the nomenclature gets very confusing because of the translation. So it's always good to go back to the Pali. So when we talk about the contemplation of the body, what we're really talking about is the contemplation of the feeling of the body. Whereas when we talk about the contemplation of the breath, it is in fact the contemplation of the body, because in this case, the body comes from the Pali word kaya, which is everything about our body, including the breath. So before I get you too confused, let's just focus on our practice. And so think of this as just a warm up exercise on your joints, improving your chi, starting with the circulation. So I want you to sit properly, always sit properly. You sit properly, you stand properly, you lie down properly, and you walk properly. So the proper posture starts with the spine. I want you to stretch your spine as if you're hanging the spine from the ceiling. You hang the spine from the ceiling because it's the center part of your belt. The rest is the belt. Then I want you to lean back your forehead, tuck in your chin so the weight of the head is on top of the spine. Then I want you to open the shoulder and then relax that shoulder. Before we do any exercise, I want you to focus on the center of your palm, your mind and your body together. That's the true meaning of yoga. The original word is yuja, being together with your body and your mind. Now I want you to bring up your hand with your mind, okay? Focus on the center of your palm, bring it up. And once you bring it up, I want you to sit properly again. And this time, I want you to add one more thing, which is I want you to rotate the hip forward and then lean back the upper torso. Focus on your wrists and start doing the joint exercise. Now, don't let your mind wander away. I want you to focus on the feeling of your wrists. And then I want you to examine that feeling. Is it warmth? Is it sweat? Is it pain? Is it tightness? Focus on that. Focus on that. Feel it. Let it go. Feel it again. Let it go one at a time. Now go the other way, very gently, focusing on your body entirely. Now, your mind's not going to like to do that, right? Your mind wants to be somewhere else because it's not used to this kind of training. But that's okay. As soon as you discover that your mind is somewhere else, I want you to invite your mind back to your body very politely, very gently. Now, I want you to put your hand down, but before you put a hand down, make sure that your mind is at the center of your palm. And then now come back to your posture, stretch your spine, open your shoulder, relax your shoulder, lean back the forehead, tuck in your chin, rotate the hip forward, and then the entire upper torso lean back. And then before we start, make sure that you're focusing on the center of your palm. Bring it back up. So we are in fact doing meditation. The entire hour and a half is meditation. Now we're going to focus on the elbow. Again, I want you to contemplate the feeling of your elbow. Any moisture, any heat, any pain, any numbness. The entire hour and a half is meditation because there are two modes of meditation. One is when you're still, that would be when you're standing, you're sitting, you're lying down, and I'll go the other way. And the other one is when you're in motion, that would be when you're exercising or when you're walking. So I want you to learn that you can meditate in any posture, not just when you sit. Now I want you to lower your hands down, but before you lower your hands down, make sure your mind is at the center of your palm. Once again, come back to the posture, stretch your spine, open your shoulder, relax your shoulder, focus on the center of your palm again, and then take inventory of what we just did. We did the joint exercise on the wrist, we did the joint exercise on the elbow. Now it's time for the shoulder. I want you to raise your hand, cross your hand, follow your hand, and now stretch. And then as you come down, I want you to open that shoulder as if the hands are touching the wall. Bring it back down. Refocus on the center of the palm again. Bring it back up. Follow your hand. Stretch. Now, when you come down, I want you to focus on your shoulder. I want you to focus on that feeling of pain. And then I want you to come back down again. Go up. Again, focus on that pain. Feel it. Accept it. And let it go. Let it go, meaning that make sure your mind's coming back to the center of your palm again. What's gone is gone. Open that shoulder. Feel it. Accept it. Let it go. Back again, stretch, open the shoulder, feel your pain, accept your pain, let go of your pain. Back again, stretch, open the shoulder, bring it back down. One last time, bring it up together with your center of your palm. Open that shoulder, feel it, accept it, let go of it. And now we're going to go the other way. Follow the center of your palm. Open that shoulder, stretch, and then bring it back down. Open the shoulder, stretch, and then bring it back down. Open that shoulder, stretch, and bring it back down. Open the shoulder. Focus on your shoulder. Feel it, accept it, let go of it. One last time. And bring it down together with your center, your palm. Once again, open the shoulder, relax the shoulder. Focus on the center of your palm. Bring it back up. Bring it to the same height as your shoulder. Now, once you get ready, this is going to hurt again. Bring it up. Open as far back as you can. Feel the pain. Accept the pain. Let go of the pain. Come back to the center of your palm. Bring it back up. Open that shoulder. Bring it back down. Relax. Open that shoulder. Feel it. Accept it. Let go of it. Bring it back up. Feel the pain, accept the pain, let go of the pain. Letting go means come back to the center of your palm. Always remember where's my mind. Don't let your mind wander, because if you let your mind wander, it's going to get attached to that pain, and then it's going to go from physical suffering to mental suffering. That pain is going to metastasize into suffering. So we don't want that. We just want to feel it. This is reality. We accept it, and then we let go. One last time. Bring it up. Open that shoulder. Feel it. Accept it. Let go of it. And then relax. Now we're going to do one last exercise on the shoulder. Bring the hands as far back as you can. Bring it up above your head. Stretch. Bring it back down. Mind always stay focused on the center of your palm. All the way back. Bring it up. Stretch and then come down all the way back. Stretch and then come down all the way back. Stretch, and then come down one last time, all the way back. Stretch, and then come down. Now, I want you to go from this um, dynamic back to the static. When we're in motion, we focus on the body. When we're stationary, we focus on the breath. So when we're doing exercise, we were in the fight or flight. Stress hormone is being generated, both the cortisol and adrenaline, and it goes to the liver. The liver puts out all kinds of chemical that you need, the glucose, the triglyceride, everything that you need to survive. And now we want to come back and relax because it's important to maintain that harmony. It's not that the stress hormone is not good for you. It is good for you because you need that to survive. When a bus is coming your way, you want to be jumped out of the way. That's when you need stress hormone. But once you need it, once you finish and you're done with it, you want to come back to the rest and digest. So now we want to focus on our breath and starting with knowing. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Okay. Now, for those of you who have been following me a while, you know that I'm a Buddhist. And so a lot of what we do encompasses Taoist teaching, encompasses the yoga teaching. But fundamentally, I'm a Buddhist. And in Buddhist, we talk a lot about dukkha, which is suffering, right? And so when you first heard that, he said, wow, that's really pessimistic, that you always focus on the negative suffering. That is not the case at all. It's not as much as you're pessimistic or optimistic, is that you are being a realist, right? And by the way, when we talk about suffering, it's not just the pain, the pleasant is part of suffering. So, in fact, it's the wrong translation. Suffering comes from the word dukkha. Dukkha means less than ideal. You say, wow, what does that mean? It means that it comes from the notion that we are actually a spiritual being trapped into this body. And when you're attached to this body, then you're suffering because it's less than ideal. You really have to elevate yourself out of this body, right? So that you can be back into the spiritual realm. Now, where does the suffering comes from? The suffering comes from something fundamental, which is we live in an impermanence world because we live in a material world, a world that is made of material. A way that a material means that there's rising and there's decay. Everything is like that, right? Something that like a human being, they were born, they get old, and then they die because it's the material body that is born, it's a material body that gets old, and it's a material body that ultimately die. But that is true for everything, right? That is true for everything. Even if you look at a mountain that has no life as we know it, it still has a rise and a decay. So we accept that. That's called impermanence. And when you don't accept the impermanence, that's what we call dukkha. So this first sitting practice, meditation practice, meditating on the body is really about meditating on the feeling. The feeling can be pleasant or unpleasant, and it can even be neither pleasant nor neither unpleasant. It's just called a neutral. It's just a feeling, right? And it's a good thing that our feeling is impermanent. You say, well, no, no, that's not true. When it's pleasant, I like it. I like it. I like for it to last forever. But what if it's unpleasant? Do you still want it to last forever? What if for some reason that you got stuck in a situation that you don't want to be? Then you have to believe that all things are impermanent, that even at the worst situation, it's going to go away too. So you have to accept it. You have to accept the good with the bad. When it's pleasant, you have to accept that it's not going to last forever. When it's unpleasant, you are very happy that it's not going to last forever. Accepting the impermanence is the release of the dukkha, right? And it starts with just feeling your body when you're doing exercise, right? You have to accept that the pain, you have to let go of the pain. If you don't let go of the pain will last much longer. All right. Now we're going to do two more exercise, and then we're going to practice this contemplation of the bodily feeling for about 3 minutes. So these two exercises is part of the Shaolin practice and what we call the Nine Gong practice, internal energy. So first we're going to come back to the posture, open our shoulder, relax our shoulder. We're going to lift up the left hand. We're going to stretch out the right hand. We're going to rotate the body so that the hips are forward and upper torso are back. It's very important because what you're doing is you're putting stress on the adrenal gland. You're forcing yourself into the rest and digest. Now, I want you to hold your left hand stationary. It's very important that we separate the left hemisphere from the right hemisphere of the brain. Now, I want you to take the right hand, and then I want you to bring it as far back as you can. Don't be afraid of the pain because it's not going to last forever. Just accept it and then let go. The pain is already gone. Okay. Now, this is as if you're sitting, meditating in front of a lotus pond. It is the most beautiful, most tranquil space you can imagine. Someone walks around, takes a rock, throw it in the pond, creates all kinds of turbulence. And instead of just sitting back and let it just settle, you follow the rock into the bottom of the pond. You said, well, nobody does that. Why would you do that? Why would that when someone disturb your peace with the rock and then you follow the rock to the bottom of the mud? You would never do that. The smart thing to do is let it go. Just sit back, contemplate on the water, let the water settle. That's exactly what I'm asking you to do. The pain which you cause to yourself, or the pain that is caused by someone else, that is just a rock. Don't follow the rock. Follow your mind. Be at peace with yourself. You can't change other people. You can't change the world. You can only change yourself. Okay? The peace comes from within. So let's try it again. Open that shoulder, relax the shoulder, left hand in front, right hand stretch out. Focus on the center of your palm. Bring it. Now open it as far back as you can. Oh my God, that hurts. Accept it. Let go. Don't follow the rock. Left hand. Open it. Feel it. Accept it. Let go. Come back. The other way. Open the shoulder and come back. Left hand. Right hand. Left hand. Feel your shoulder. Let go of your shoulder. Come back. Right hand. Left hand. One last time. Back to the right. And then now back to the left. And then relax. Completely relax. I want you to come back to the rest and digest, maintaining that harmony between the parasympathetic and the sympathetic, between the two autonomous nervous system. Focus on your breath. Let your body rest. Let your body dissipate all the stress hormone. Let your body return to the normal state. Return, reactivate your salivary gland. Reactivate your immune system. Reactivate your digestive system. Reactivate your reproductive system. Okay, that's what happens when you're in this fight or flight. Your body prioritize. Now is not the time to reproduce. Now is not the time to digest. So it just shuts everything down. Right? Just focus on the tiger or the lion or whatever it is that you have to focus on. Now, last time at the end of the class, I asked you to write in our circle what would you like to see this week, right? Because over time, we have built up quite a repertoire of different modes of exercise, and it's impossible to do everything. So we need to kind of prioritize, right? So someone asked, Martha asked, they said, well, could you talk about how to improve blood pressure, right? Assuming that you have high blood pressure, and how do you maintain that? And then, as it turns out, I also have a nephew that might be joining us. So Nathan, if you're here, say hi to everyone, text a message. If you're not, that's okay. We'll see you next week. In his case, I was going to talk about how to use mindfulness as a competitive advantage, right? So both Nathan and I are sales professionals. We're fundraising, we're customer facing, putting ourselves in the front line, dealing with business, and it comes with that a lot of stress, and sometimes with the family and romance and all that. The body, it's just too overwhelming for us. So then, how do you use mindfulness to give yourself a competitive edge, right? Now, when you look at those two, one is mindfulness as a competitive edge, and then the other one is mindfulness as a health maintenance, particularly about high blood pressure. On the surface, you think that they're not compatible, that even maybe competing for the time, where in fact they are the same. They're the same. They all have to do with the mind. Is how do you settle your mind? Because if your mind wanders all over the place, then actually one of the things that affects you is that you're so stressful, and the cortisol would be the one that causes all kind of health problem, the stress hormone, right? And the other one has to do with when your mind is all over the place, then you let your emotion be in control, right? Your anger, your anxiety, your fear, they all come out. It's the same. It's actually the same. All right. So now we're going to focus again back to on our body. This time it's going to be much harder to focus because we're actually doing something very um, uh, putting our body in motion. Now this is a second exercise called throwing the fist. So let's focus on the right hand. Make a fist. Now I want you to follow that fist, and when it gets to the end, I want you to open the fingers. I want you to stretch the elbow, and then I want you to give it the shoulder. Right. So what that does is action equal to action. So when you throw the fist, energy is going to travel all the way to the fingertip, and then the energy is going to come back to the shoulder. So I want you to feel that. Open your shoulder, bring your hand, make a fist, get ready, up. Okay, open your fingers, feel the vibration coming back to your shoulder, up, feel it, sit up straight, down, sit up straight, down, feel your finger, up, feel the energy going back to your shoulder, down, down, up, up, down, down, sit up straight, up, one last time, up, down, down. Now open your shoulder. Get ready. Focus on both hands. One, feel the vibration coming back to your shoulder. Two, three, four, five. Okay, now we're going to sit for 3 minutes. And this time we're going to be focusing on the body. The next time we're going to focus on the breath. Okay, now, but when I say focus on the body, I'm actually talking about focusing on the feeling of your body. All right. So we're going to start with the posture again. This is the oldest asana from the yoga practice, right? You know, asana is the posture, right? But this is where it all started. It's the lotus pose, and when it comes to China, we call it the seven support point, seven support sitting posture of the Vajrachara. This is when the Buddha became awakened and he went from Sycamore to Vajrachara, changing the names. This is the sitting posture. Seven support point. First one are the legs. So if you sit on the chair, there's nothing wrong sitting on the chair. Okay. So if you sit on the chair, feel the bottom of your feet firmly on the ground. If you sit on a mat like I do, feel the bottom of your knee. Okay. And if you sit like this, put some pillows, because if you sit like this, you're using your muscle. The muscle generate fire. And what you don't want that. You want to sit perfectly still like this. Put some pillows if you have to. That way you're not using your muscle. Then you go into the earth element, which is which is very, very solid. Okay. Now the next one are the fingers and the hands. So I just want you to relax them. And if you must do mudra, make sure you rest it somewhere. Don't do it like this. Okay. Rest it. Again, let's not use any of our muscle. And now comes the most important part, which is the spine. Again, remind yourself that we sit like the bell. The spine is like the clapper in the bell. It needs to be hang from the ceiling. So I want you to sit with the hip forward, upper torso back, and then I want you to stretch the spine as if you're hanging the spine on the ceiling. That's the third one. The fourth one is the shoulder. I want you to open that shoulder and then relax the shoulder. The fifth one is the forehead and the chin. So I want you to lean back the forehead so the ears on top of the shoulder. And then I want you to take the chin and tuck it in. So you're putting pressure on the two artery. Now, if you worry about high blood pressure, that's what you want. You want to put a little bit of pressure here because this is the 2 points that are most likely responsible for your high blood pressure because it senses that your brains are not getting enough oxygen. Okay, there's not enough blood flow into your head, so that's why you have high blood pressure. So you want to sit with the chin down like this because we don't need high blood pressure right now. We are in totally stationary mode. Then the six ones are the eyelids. Relax the eyelid, but before you relax the eyelid, try to relax in between the eyebrow. Okay, relax here, and then now focus on the on your eyelid, and then just think about the baby. When the baby sleeps, they're totally relaxed. The eyelids are relaxed in such a way that you think that they're actually looking at you, right? So the eyes are not completely shut. So you can actually see your eyelashes. You can see the light coming through your eyelashes. Then the last one is the tip of your tongue. So I want to take the tip of the tongue and put it behind here, which is between the teeth and the roof of your mouth. The reason for that is that this is a old Indian yogic called mudra. So usually we think of mudra a hand gesture. It's not the case. It can be any part of the body. So by curling up the tongue and just touch it, you're actually activating the saliva gland. One of the things that gets shut down when you are in fight or flight. So two things forces your body into the rest and digest. One is that you're putting pressure on the adrenal gland by rotating the hip forward and leaning back the upper torso. Then the other one is you're putting the tip of the tongue at the roof of your mouth. Close your mouth. Close your mouth. Feel the slivers in your mouth. And it could be sometimes slivers can be very bitter because you have so much stress that it affects your liver. And so get used to that feeling of very tasty saliva. Okay. Now I want you to focus on the corner of your mouth and just kind of relax the corner mouth. Imagine that you're smiling like the Buddha, but not a big smile, just a slight smile. Okay. Now then I want you to focus on the hip. Again, pushing the hip forward, leaning back the upper torso. Now we're going to start the scanning practice. Okay. Scan your body starting at the very bottom of your spine. I want you to come up one step at a time on your spine. As you come up, feel your body. The feeling can be pleasant or unpleasant, or neither pleasant or not or unpleasant. Could be one of the three. It doesn't matter. Feel it, accept it, and let it go. To the next step. Then to the next step. Then to the next step. Then to the next step. Now you're up to the shoulder and just slightly adjust your shoulder, relax your shoulder. Then the next step, feel the back of your neck. And then now lean back the forehead and feel it again. Come up to the top of the head. Come up to the forehead. Lean back your forehead. In between your eye, relax your eye. Relax in between your eyebrow. Come down to the tip of your nose. Come down to your chin and close your mouth. Make sure your tongues are touching the roof of your mouth. Make sure you're having a little nice Buddha smile. Come down. As you come down, lean back the upper torso. Feel the spine as you lean back the upper torso. It's very magical. And you realize that, oh, actually, when I lean back, and then when I lean back to the point where I feel like I'm just going to fall over, is actually the most relaxed point, because we're not so used to sitting upright like that. We're used to hunch forward. It just comes from our ancestors who are primates. But when you lean back, you're actually taking all the weight away from your muscle, and come back to the bottom of your spine again. I want you to spend the next 3 minutes slowly, one step at a time. Feel your body, accept that feeling, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, just accept it, and then let go of it and go to the next step. And as you come up, adjust your body, maintaining this posture. Okay, open your eyes. So in the West, particularly in the United States, when we talk about meditation, then very often we say, "Oh, yeah, there's the Zen meditation, there is the mindfulness meditation, and then there is something called the Vipassana meditation." Particularly the Vipassana meditation. So Vipassana meditation, we have in California, we have 3 Vipassana center, and when you enter, you're committed to a 10-day practice where you have to adhere to what is called the noble silence, where you cannot speak, you cannot even make eye contact with anyone, and it's a you have to maintain your vegetarian diet, no reading, no yoga practice, no nothing, just sit, and we call that the Vipassana practice. And then there's something called the mindfulness practice, where you're taught to pay attention to your breath, the in breath and the out breath, right? So if you've seen my latest upload a video where I talk about mindfulness literacy as a competitive advantage, I mentioned that movie called 13 Lives, directed by Ron Howard, which talked about the rescue of the 12 kids plus the coach who are trapped in a cave in upper Thailand. And in there, I cut out 39 seconds of video where the teacher, the coach, was teaching the children how to pay attention to the breath. That starts with saying that all your anxiety, all your fear come from inside, not outside. And it's time to focus on our in breath and out. Okay, so we typically call that the mindfulness meditation, as different from the Vipassana. And then, of course, there's a Zen meditation, which is the Japanese meditation that comes from the Soto traditions, where you just sit. Okay, this is like the blind man trying to figure out what the elephant looks like. That one guy grabbed onto the tail, and he says the elephant looks like a tail, it looks like a string. The other one wraps it around his leg, and he says the elephant looks like a tree. And then finally, the one says, "Oh, the elephant is very sharp," by looking at the tusk. Because Buddha, after he became enlightened, he was 39. Um, he was 35 years old when he became enlightened. Then he spent the next 45 years teaching. And so we often talk about Buddha has 84,000 ways towards enlightenment, towards what we call the um, um, enlightenment. And the reason there's 84,000 is if you take 45, the number of years that he had to teach, you multiply that by 365, and then you assume that he has to sleep for at least 4 hours a day. So then what's left is enough for 5 classes. Then you multiply all that together, it's 84,000, which means that he was able to have enough the time to teach 84,000 different audience. In each audience, he taught it slightly differently according to the student. And so if you happen to be one of the student and he taught one way, then you think that that was the way. And then you have another student that was taught another way, and you think that was the way. So let me explain to you that vipassana means contemplation. You have to contemplate when you're mindful to your breath, and you have to contemplate when you practice Zen. You cannot just say this is contemplation and those are not. Contemplation is everything. Mindfulness is everything too. And Zen comes from the Chinese word Chan, which comes from the word Chana, which comes from the Sanskrit word called jhana. It means sentimentation. It means to renunciate your material existence. And you have to do that in everything. So what we did, sitting 30 minutes, is what we practice in the Vipassana meditation. But in this case, you have to actually practice mindfulness and jhana. Okay, it's just that you're mindful of your body. In particular, you're mindful of the feeling of the body, and you have to accept that that feeling is impermanent. So you have to accept the feeling. You have to let go of the feeling. Then you're back again, accept the feeling, and let go of it. Ultimately, what you're practicing is equanimity, right? All right. So now before we do the second one, where we are being mindful of a breath, but at the same time, we have to practice vipassana, which is contemplation, and we have to practice Zen, which is enunciation, right? It's just that in that case, we're more focused on the breath. What we just did is more focused on the feeling of the body. Before we do that, let's come back to the question that Martha asked, which is, what is it that we can do here that will help with my high blood pressure? Okay, let's focus on that. Let's focus on that. Now, high blood pressure is not a disease, it's a symptom. It's the most serious symptom. High blood pressure is something that you really have to pay attention because the cause of that is so immense. Not only that, not only that, But because the Western science treat it as a disease, so they give you medicine to knock down the symptom. It's as if they're trying to murder your only weakness, just to silence you. I remember there was a joke long time ago, and the joke was that a young person, was walking down the street in the middle of the night, and he saw an older person, on his floor, on the ground, looking for things. And he thought, "Wow, I should help this person." So he walks over and says, "Nice gentleman, what are you doing? Can I help you?" And the older gentleman says, "I lost my key to my car. I can't get home. I have to find it." And the young man says, "Oh, I can help you. I have good eyes. And I even have an iPhone that has a flashlight. Let me do that." He says, "Where did you lose your key?" He says, "I lost it over there." And he says, "So why are you here?" He says, "Because there's light here." That's Western medicine. That's Western medicine. Western medicine, the Western doctor. I'm not saying anything bad about them. I'm just telling you what I know. The Western doctor is the only profession where they get the retraining from the vendors. Imagine that. Their entire career as a medical doctor, they had to go back for retraining. And what is that retraining? This conference that are put out by the pharmaceutical industry to tell them what drugs are available. Those are the vendors. So when you go to the doctor, they don't actually try to cure you. They just try to match your symptom with a medicine that is in the catalog. So if you go there with high blood pressure, they will say, "Oh, I got this medicine. It will knock it down." Next time you go there and says, "Your high blood pressure normal." You're happy. He's happy. The drug company's happy. What's wrong with that? So what causes high blood pressure? It's both a supply and a demand problem. Supply meaning that you're not supplying enough oxygen to your brain. Your body says, "Well, that's bad." That's the worst thing you can do to your body, not give oxygen to your brain. What good is that? So it senses the blood flow here, all right? And when it sees that you're not getting enough oxygen into your brain, it tells your heart, you better work harder. Okay, so that's a supply problem. You're not supplying enough oxygen to your brain. So you can fix that by improving your circulation. And we did that with the joint exercise. We're going to do some more. So doing some more stretching. The other problem is not the supply, it's the demand. Demand means that you're constantly in a fight or flight. You have lost the harmony in your autonomous nervous system. You're stuck on the fight or flight. You have lost the art of the rest and digest. And as a result, you're pumping so much cortisol and adrenaline into your body that your body is in at war all the time, pumping up your high blood pressure. So we need to fix that by relieving your bad chi, right? And we're going to talk about that. So then the question is that why do you have so much stress hormone? Because your body needs it. Your body needs it. It thinks that you're in danger because you're constantly in stress. So this next statement is about relieving yourself of stress. Okay, so think of this as if you're going into a rehab. Okay, you're going through rehab and you're trying to reduce your chemical addiction, namely the cortisol. So I want you to relax, learn to relax. Okay, this is one of the most important things you have to do. It doesn't matter whether you have high blood pressure or high cholesterol or that you're so overwhelmed with stress that you can't perform at work. It all comes from stress. So let's learn how to relax by activating our um, vagus nerve, starting at between your shoulder and then work into our body. Focus on the top of the shoulder. Bring up your shoulder. Now stay focused on the top of your shoulder. Bring it up to the ear level. Now, I want you to open that shoulder as if you're putting a tennis ball between your shoulder blade, and I want you to squeeze that tennis ball as you come down. And as soon as you come down, I want you to relax. Then we're going to continue the circular motion by leaning forward, closing your shoulder. I want you to lean back. I want you to lean forward, eyes looking at the floor. And then I want you to bring that shoulder up again, eyes now looking at the camera. And then I want you to open the shoulder, eyes are looking at the ceiling, and then come down. Okay? Continue forward, up, open that shoulder, relax that shoulder. Completely relax, completely focus on your shoulder. Forward. Now I want you to coordinate with your breathing. Close your mouth and just breathe in very gently. Breathe in. Open the shoulder. Now I want you to breathe out. And I want you to breathe out completely. Breathe out as if you're releasing all your negative energy. Now I want you to come in, breathe in, accepting all the positive energy in the universe. Open that shoulder. Breathe out, relieving yourself of all your suffering. Breathe in. Open the shoulder. Relax. Breathe in. Open the shoulder and relax. Now I'm going to chant in Pali, the original language of the Buddha. Consider this a blessing from Buddha. Bless you with the most important positive energy of the world, which is that of loving kindness. I want you to bring that loving kindness to yourself. Breathe in, open, breathe out. Just follow me. Sabi Sata Suki Hantu Sabi Sata Suki Breathe in, open that shoulder, breathe out. One last time. Breathe in, open that shoulder, and then breathe out. Now, the next one, I'm going to sit properly again. Open the shoulder, relax. Lean back the forehead, tuck in the chin so that the top of the head, this energy point called the 100 beat, is on top of your spine. I want you to take your right hand, put that on your left hand side of the head. I want you to pull your head towards the right, but fight it with your neck so you're not changing your posture. I want you to feel the stress on your neck as if you're, when you're doing laundry and you have to squeeze this water out of your clothing, that's what you're doing now. Squeeze that stress out of your neck. And then I want you to slowly release all that stress. Then I want you to take the left hand, put that on the right side of your head. Once again, pull your head towards the left, but fight it with your neck. Feel all that stress on your neck. Feel it as if you're squeezing the last drop of water from your laundry. And then I want you to relax, let it all go. Then I want you to put both hands in the back of the head, sit up straight, and then look down. Now I want you to put half of your energy on your fingers, bring down your head. Then I want you to use the remaining half energy and lean back so you're fighting it. Then rotate towards the left. Feel the stress on your neck. come back in the middle, and then now to the right, come back in the middle, and then very gently relax. Sit up straight, lean back the forehead, tuck in your chin. Now I want you to lean back your forehead as if you're completely weightless. Then rotate the head to the right, rotate forward, rotate to the left in a clockwise direction. Now back to the back, and then go the other way, to the left, to the right, to the back, and then sit up straight. Okay. Now, next thing we're going to do, we're going to massage these two energy points called the um, wind palm of the wind. Now these energy points are the one that I showed to Martha that would help you to reduce your blood pressure. Okay, because in this case, we're actually improving the blood flow into your head. All right. So we're actually helping you with the supplies, with the demand side. Okay, with the supply side, putting more oxygen into your brain. And so open your shoulder, relax your shoulder, putting your fingers, locking your fingers, put it right behind your head. Now take the two thumb. Now you feel that you have like these two muscle, right? Okay, so now put it outside the muscle. You see the cavity? All right. So now use your thumb, push down, and then that's half of your energy. The other half is on your neck. Push, lean back your head. Now just keep pushing it. What you're doing is you're restricting the chi going through your gallbladder energy line. Okay, just keep pushing. Now you can feel it. You can feel the numbness, the tenderness, a little bit of pain. Just keep pushing and then relax. That's all you need to do. It's all you need to do, right? Because you restrict the chi and you let go of the chi goes to the top of the head. Now we take the right hand, use the four fingers, put it on the left, right, where we were before, this cavity right here. Now, push down with your four fingers, lean back your head, maintaining the pressure. Now, I want you to use your right hand and pull it without losing skin contact, okay? Pull it to the right and then relax. Take that side, press down, lean back, maintaining the pressure, and then pull it to the left and then relax. So this is a good energy point. This is a good massage point for improving your blood flow into your head. So if you improve your blood flow in your head, then your heart doesn't have to pump so hard. Your blood pressure will come down. One thing before I forget, if you have high blood pressure and you're taking medicine and you're practicing here, be careful. You should go out and buy a little device, put that on your wrist, okay? And make sure that you elevate your hand so that it's the same height as your heart. So you need to sit down, put some pillow, and you measure your blood pressure before you take the medicine, after you make the medicine, not necessarily every day, but every other day. Because as you practice, your what was high blood pressure should be lower now. But then if you continue to take the same amount of medicine, it will get too low and then you start to have a lighthead. Okay, so make sure that you monitor. At some point, you say, "Hey, I'm pretty good now," and then you can go to the doctor and says, "Doctor, you did such a good job. My high blood pressure is going down. Can I take less medicine?" And the doctor says, "Yeah, go ahead, no problem. I am so good." Okay, now you feel a little tingling on the top of your head, right? Because the blood flow is coming up. So I want to do two things. One is the massage, and the other one is to tap on the top, okay? Because this is another energy point that will help you with high blood pressure. So I don't want to take five fingers, put the four fingers on the top and one finger to thumb on the side, and just massage to the back of the head, all the way down to your neck, and then relax. Second one, go up, down, and then relax. One last time, go up, down, and then relax. Okay. Now open your shoulder, lean back your forehead, tuck in your chin, take 10 fingers, put that on the top of your head. Okay, get ready. Fingers vertical, huh? Get ready, go. Okay, now massage again. Okay, also about the high blood pressure, you know there are two numbers, right? So there's a bigger number and a smaller number. The small number is important number because it really tells you about your the state of your health. The high numbers is when you're actually moving. Okay, so now don't take it from me. Go to your if you have a neurologist. And my father was suffering from dementia, so I his neurologist is my best friend. So he actually recommends to have a higher, bigger number for older people because you really want more blood flow into your brain. Okay, so that's something aside. We can talk about that if you ask me in more detail, for more detail in a circle. Okay, all right. So now that is to improve the blood flow in the top of your head because we have these three very important yang energy line. We have the one in the middle called the governing that goes along the spine to the top of the head all the way down to here. Then we have these other two that has to do with the gallbladder on the side, and then in between is the one that has to do with the bladder. These are just names, right? They're abstract names. And so that would improve your blood flow. Now, the other thing we want to do is we want to reduce the stress. Okay, remember the supply and the demand. All right, so now a lot of stress is trapped into your eyebrow right here. So what we want to do is we want to learn to massage your eye. So you take your index finger, you put that in front right here at the beginning eyebrow, but it's not it has nothing to do with the eyebrow. It has something to do with the little dimple right here. Okay. Now I want you to put some pressure on that by half of it on your finger and half it on your neck. Maintain that pressure. You feel numbness, little tenderness, and then relax. Now put your fingers in between and then just like squeeze all the stress out of the eyebrow, right? There's three energy points right here. Squeeze, squeeze. And then I want you to take your thumb, put that underneath, and then just massage. Again, back to metta, loving kindness. And then now go the other way, massage. Okay. All right. Now, so we see we're going back and forth, right? We're going to for circulation, and then we then come back to stress. So again, it's a supply and demand, right? So if you have too much demand, you have high blood pressure. You have too much. If you don't have enough supply, you have high blood pressure. If you're putting too much of a demand on your system, then you have high blood pressure. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to learn to massage some very important points along the hand to help you with high blood pressure. This time is improving the supply. Okay. So it has to do with this energy line called the lung energy line. This is the yin energy line. Then together with that is the yang energy line that has to do with the large intestine. Right. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to start on this one. And there's an energy point right here. So think of your thumb coming down right here. So this one is good for your high blood pressure. Okay. Then the next one come along, and then right where the joints are, there's another one. Okay. Now, if you tend to fold your fist, your elbow like this, then there's one right here. This is actually the large intestine. This is also a very good one for improving your high blood pressure. This is all about improving supply, working on your lung. Okay. So you supply more oxygens to your brain in particular and throughout your body in general. Now go to the other side. Again, this is the lung. So come down in the fold right here. Come around here. Upper part. So imagine you have three and then there's upper part right here. Now fold up your arm and then it's right here. Okay. All right. So those are the three that you do if you're concerned about high blood pressure. But in general, we also want to massage our fingers, right? Because the fingers are the origination of a lot of energy. It would help with your immune system, and it would also help with your state of mind, which is the heart. Okay. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to learn to pull our fingers one at a time. Okay. Now, we call this the fingers actually tied to all your internals. Then we're going to learn to massage the fingertips by squeezing both sides of the nail. Okay, these are things that you need to do, right, to improve your harmony. Then you want to take the left hand with the back of the hand facing up. Then you use the other side and you want to squeeze the fingers and rub them together like this. Now go the other way. And then there is exercise that we do that is we're actually taking the the pinky. There's a meat part here. Put that together. And then now the other side, same thing on the other side. This is good for, one is for your heart and one is for your lung. And then we do one more exercise, one more point, and only because it's gotten so famous in TikTok. And it's right along the thumb. It's similar to the other one, but it's right here. This would help you sleep. Okay, but I would be remiss if I don't show you this. Okay, so finally, it's the center of your palm. So we want to put the palm together, sit up straight, and then put them together. This is the energy point, the only one in the body, our 365, that actually generate energy. And then now, once you put that on your eye, without touching your eye, you feel the infrared energy coming from your center of your palm, healing yourself. Not so much the first time. Your eye said, "What's going on? Infrared. Haven't seen that in a while." Okay, now put that back. Oh, you feel it now, right? One last time. And put that. Oh, yes. Okay, now put the center of your palm over your temple, right? This energy point. And then now just massage your face and just tell yourself, relax. And then massage the front of your face, massage the top of your head, massage the neck. And then now we're going to learn to massage your ear. So put a thumb, separate the ear into 3 parts, put the thumb on the upper part, squeeze. Put the thumb in the middle part, squeeze. Turn your hand around, put the index finger inside the thumb behind, squeeze. Squeeze the tip, squeeze the edge, squeeze your earlobe. There's one more exercise that we do that if you're concerned about high blood pressure, you take the index finger, you put that behind, and you just massage behind your ear. And then you take your palm, you put that behind, and you stretch and you relax. Okay, so that's for the upper part. All right. Now, Martha also asked me to do Yi Jing Jing today, and so we can't do everything. So let's spend 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes before Yi Jing Jing. So let's do the other part of high blood pressure, right? Again, for high blood pressure. So let's go to a lower body. And we're going to tap on the outside. The outside is gallbladder. Again, it has to do with wind. Wind has to do with the nerve system to the top of the head. So this would help you with high blood pressure. Not only that, these 2 energy points would reduce your chance of having a stroke. Get ready? Go. Now the other one. Okay. Now then we have 3 energy points below the knee. The first one right here. So if you go up like this, you can't go anymore. It's right here. Okay. Now this one actually would improve your immunity. Go ahead. Okay, Now, the middle one is actually, this is the gallbladder. So this has to do with the bile. So this would help if you have constipation. Okay, get ready. And below. Now, this one, you feel a little tingling on your toes. So if you have issue with gout, this would help. And then always one energy point, only because it's from 7 to 9 in the morning. This is the has to do with the stomach. This is the time when the stomach energy points is very active. And so what you do is you measure 4 fingers from the kneecap, and then it's outside the bone. Get ready, go. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do again is back to the high blood pressure. And this time is we're working on the demand side, not the supply side. Demand meaning that we want to reduce the amount of stress hormone that we have in the body. And so we work on the energy line that has to do with the liver, and the energy line that has to do with the kidney. So the liver, so the energy point that we want to focus on is in between the toe and the second, and then you come in about 2 to 3 fingers, and you just push down. If you can't see it, let me rotate so you can see it. And you just push down. It's very sore. Okay, very sore. Okay, and then you just massage that point. Okay, because the stress hormone, the first is the recipient for the stress hormone. Now, what you want to do is you want to massage both sides of your toe, and then massage the middle. Okay, so this would help with your stress hormone. And then finally, we want to work on both the center. That's a very important one. That's the kidney. Okay, and then so we've done this before, so it's familiar to you. So what we do is we bend the toes back. We make an empty hand. We put that together. Okay, this is called mixing the water and fire. Get ready, go. Continue. Okay, now we're going to work on the other side. The other side again, starting between the toes, and then press down. Oh, that hurts. Press down some more. Massage on the side of the toes, both sides, and then massage underneath. Then we do the mixing of water and fire. Get ready, go. Continue. And we're done. So just enough time to do Jing. Again, Jing is a very important exercise. It's the mother of all Qigong. This is what was passed down by Bodhidharma, a North Indian yogi who visited China about 1600 years ago. Okay, and this is the exercise that was originally given to the Shaolin monk when they're in seclusion. And they're in seclusion in a room slightly bigger than my mat, and this is where they meditate day in and day out. And so they need this exercise to improve the circulation. This is actually a very good exercise for elderlies like myself. Okay, I'm getting my first Social Security check in a matter of weeks, so I am an elderly. All right, so we're going to do this exercise. This is really, really good exercise for you. Okay, so we're going to do Jing. But before we do that, let's do some more joint exercise. Hip, knee, heel, and toes. Okay, all right. Hang on 1 second. All right. Okay, so hip first, huh? So right legs forward, left legs back, putting the hands in front. Bring your body back to your left leg. Focus on the heel, then to the knee, then to the hip, then to the shoulder. Form a straight line, and then rotate around this center line. Feel the stress on your hip, and then now move forward, and then relax. Second time, form the straight line, rotate around the straight line, hold it, and then relax. Back again, hold it, forward, and then relax. Now go the other side. Left leg forward, bring it back. Form that straight line between the heel and the knee and the hip and the shoulder. Rotate around that straight line. Hold it, forward, relax. Back again, rotate, forward, relax. Back again, one last time, rotate, hold it, and then relax. Okay, this is the basic exercise for Tai Chi, as a matter of fact, right? So Tai Chi needs that very flexible hip, and as you get older, the hip is important because if you don't have a flexible hip, you will fall easier. Okay, now the next one is your knee. Make sure you make a cup with your hand. Put that so the knees are not moving relative to the kneecaps are not moving relative to the knees, so you're not feeling that you're not hurting yourself. And then just very gently, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then now lift up your right heel. We're going to work on the heel. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Left foot. Lift up your heel. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now to the toes. Stand, slightly grabbing the carpet with your toes. Open your shoulder, and then stand on your toes. And as you stand on your toes, lift, focus on the top of your head. Stand on your toes as if you're doing ballet. And as you come down, slightly impact the heel. That would activate the gallbladder energy line. The bladder, sorry, energy line. Now, again, stand on your toes. This is actually very good for your kidney. And then impact. One last time, stand on your toes. And then impact. And then stand on your left foot like the golden chicken. And then kick your right foot 3 times. 1, 2, 3. This is very good if you want to prevent having dementia, maintaining balance. 1, 2, and then 3. Okay. All right. So now we're ready for Yi Jing Jing. Yi Jing Jing actually has 14 sets, activating 12 of the secondary meridian and both of the primary. And the first one, so before we do the first one, you stand with the foot around the same width of your shoulder. Very, very important that you open your shoulder, relax the shoulder, right? These energy points are named for a reason. The very bottom of your feet is called the gushing spring. The energies are coming from the earth to the heaven like the spring. The top of the shoulder is called a well on the shoulder. So you want to put that well on top of the spring water. And then you want to rotate your toes inward, loosening up your knee. This way it would activate this very important energy point right here. So towards the end, when we jump, that's exactly what we're doing. Now, again, back to open. Let me drink a cup of water. I don't need a cup, I need a sip. Okay, now open that shoulder. The first one is called Spirit Boosting Palm. Focus on the palm. Now, when I say go, you make eye contact with your palm. Okay? Where the hand goes, the eye goes. Where the eye goes, the mind goes. Where the mind goes, the strength will go. So the strength actually comes from your mind, not from your body. And when I say go, you go. And then you feel the shock waves traveling on your spine to the top of the head and then come back down. And then once you do that, it's very important then you focus on your breath, right? Going from the energetic to restorative, going from the fight or flight to the rest and digest. Very important to maintain that harmony. Get ready, open your shoulder, go. And then relax, feel the body. Put the tip of your tongue at the roof of your mouth, close your mouth, and then just focus on your breathing. One breath, two breaths. Second time, open your shoulder, focus on the center of your palm. Get ready, go. And then relax. One breath, two breaths. Make sure you have plenty of slivers in your mouth because that's the only way you can get slivers in your mouth is you're in rest and digest. One last time, go. And then relax. Now, the second one is called pointing the Wan Tail. Wan Tail is the name of the energy point right here. Pointing means that you're using your thumb. The thumb is both the lung and the large intestines. So what you want to do is you want to take the thumb and point it to this right here without touching. Roll up your four fingers and then lift up your thumb as if you're lifting up 2 buckets of water. Use as much strength as you want. And then relax without lowering your hand. Focus on your breath, leaving your tip of leaving your tongue on the tip on the roof of your mouth. One breath, two breaths. Second time, lifting up those 2 buckets of water. Stretch your thumb, and then relax. Back to your breath again. One last time, lifting up your thumb. Stretch your thumb upward, lifting up those 2 buckets of water. And then relax, lower your hand, completely relax, focus on your breath. Next one is called the beginner's mind. Beginner's mind is like the baby's mind. Mind also means center. Now we focus on the center of your palm. You put your thumbs on the center of your palm. You lock it with your 4 fingers, and then you squeeze your thumb like the baby is squeezing the thumb. Squeeze it, and then relax. Continue to work on the lung energy line and the large intestine energy line. Second time, beginner's mind, center your palm, squeeze your thumb, and then relax. One last time, squeeze your thumb, and then relax. Lower your hand, entire body relax, focusing on your breathing, one breath at a time. The next one is called pointing the nose. So you put your hands together, your fists together, put that right below the belly button. We're going to take a deep breath. And as you take a deep breath, number one, very gentle. Okay. So when we say deep, it means deep but gentle. Okay. And then you don't stop in the middle. So you go from here to here. And then as you go, you lift up your body. Okay. Get ready. Breathe in. And then relax. Now we continue by bringing our elbows together. Continue to put a fist in front of the nose, but this time we focus on the back. We focus on the back where the bladder energy lines are, and we crack the back. And then relax, like you're bending the back forward, okay? Like stretching the back. And then relax. Second time, bringing your elbows together, focus on your back, and then stretch. And then relax. Focus on your breathing. One last time, bringing your elbows together, and then stretch your back, and then relax. Stay focused on your breathing. Open your hands. Focus on the fist. Bring your fist above the head. Open the fingers. Let the blood drain out of your fingers back into your heart. Then we want to roll the fist one joint at a time. Lock it with your thumb. And then we want to squeeze. And then relax. Open your hands. This is a very cardio exercise. Pumping heart blood back and forth between your heart and your hands. Second time, roll your fists, lock it with your thumb, and squeeze. And then relax. Back to your breath. No huffing and puffing. No dry mouth. One last time, open your shoulder, squeeze your fingers, and then relax. Open your hands. Now, the next one is called stabbing the shoulder. It's very important that when you do this, that you open your shoulder and you grab the dagger, but you stab it from the top down. And you feel that right behind where we were doing massage earlier about what I call the pound of the wind, you feel your neck tightening because you're actually activating the gallbladder energy line, letting the chi flow to the top of your head. But it's very important that you open your shoulder. It's very important that when you grab the dagger, that you're stepping vertically down, lining up this energy point with the shoulder, with the bottom of your feet. Get ready? Open your shoulder, stab. Feel the tightness on the back of your neck, and then relax. And back to the breath. Close your mouth. This one will help your high blood pressure for sure. Okay. Second time, open the shoulder, grab the dagger, stab, and then relax. Open the shoulder, grab the dagger, stab, and then relax. Back to the breath. The next one is called a cross. Now, we don't punch, okay? We do not punch, we push. So, first the wrist, then we roll up the fist, take a deep breath as if you have two trees on the side, and you push. And then you relax and you come back to the breath without lowering your hands. Second time, relax the wrist, roll your fist, take a deep breath, and push. And then relax. Third time, wrist, push, relax. This time it's called the front hanging, which means that you lock your elbow, like, the bamboo stick that you hang your clothes on. Then same thing, wrist, fist, take a deep breath, and you push as if you're pushing against the wall, and then you relax. This, by the way, is how Bruce Lee practiced. That's why you can punch someone by moving an inch. Get ready? Second time. Push. And relax. Focus on your breathing. One last time. Wrist, fist, take a deep breath. Push. And then relax. Back to our breath. Next one is the chin up. So we grab the pole and we slightly lift up our head looking at the ceiling and we pull ourselves up and then relax. Back to our breath. Next one, grab the bar, looking up, pull ourselves up and then relax. One last time, pull ourselves up and then relax. The next one, I call this ripping the phone book, okay? If you don't know what a phone book is, you came to the wrong class. Grab the phone book, the big old yellow page that we used to get every year, and rip the sucker apart. And then relax. Close your mouth, okay? We're going to use that sliver next time. And rip the sucker up. And then relax. Close your mouth. Back to a breath. One last time. And rip the sucker up. And then relax. Now, the next one is called swallowing. It's not swallowing the dantian. It's swallowing towards the dantian. So what you want to do is you want to slightly get all the slivers together, which has all the enzyme that is good for your digestion and your immune system, especially after you practice like this. And then you want to swallow. When you want to swallow, you want to as if you swallow all the way down below the belly button. Okay, get ready. Swallow. And now you want to bend your back. This is actually very good for your kidney. At the same time, it's time to adjust your goat stand. The back of the hand is touching. Squeeze your fist. This is actually a very important part. And then relax. Make sure you relax just enough. Second time. And then relax. One last time. Squeeze. And then relax. Now I'm going to demonstrate this next part, which you have to do is one continuous motion. So this is when you fold your hand up, you breathe in, you breathe out, and then now you maintain the empty hand. And then the back of the hand should be like 45 degrees. You breathe out, and then you go bang like this. Okay? Your adrenal gland, huh? Then you lift up your fingers like this, you breathe in, you fold your hands so the palm is facing, and then you lower and you jump using the back of your using the calf. Okay, get ready. Back to the ghost stand. Palms down, facing up. Very gently, taking a deep breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Palms forward. Lower your knee and jump. And then stand up straight. Close your eye. Imagine the big mountains and the streams in front of you. Swallow. And then relax. Completely relax. Now we're going to stand for 1 minute. We stand with the posture of the Shambhala warrior, an old legend that later on becomes Shankala. You have two weapons, the most important weapon, most powerful weapon of the world. You have the palm of your hand that symbolizes compassion. You have the fist that symbolizes your wisdom. You put that together. You open your shoulder. You relax your knee. Put that below the belly button. And you focus on your breath for 1 minute. One breath at a time. Emptying your mind. Just focus on your sensation, on the feeling of your body, feeling of your breath without making any judgment. Okay, open your eyes, walk back to your seat. We're going to sit for 3 minutes before we finish our class. And I skip a whole bunch of exercise today because I want to go into the various energy point for the high blood pressure. But still, we want to do 3 minutes of meditation. Remember, I talked about that the first time that we meditate, we contemplate on the body, where in fact we're actually contemplating on the feeling of the body, and we're practicing the acceptance of impermanence, which allows us to relieve ourselves of the suffering, the dukkha. This time we actually practice on the breath. Okay. But actually, when we practice on the breath, is when we practice on the body, because the body is Gaia. Gaia includes the breath. And this time, we're actually practicing the um, renunciation of a body. Now, I remember I talked about that a very common greeting that comes from North India is called Namaste. Nama means everything that is metaphysical about our existence. And if you truly enunciate or emancipate yourself from your material, then what is left is Nama. So when we say Namaste, it's translated into let my light honor the light in you, which means that we're hoping one day we would be able to successfully enunciate a body, a material existence, and be in a pure spiritual being again. That's what it means. And so this time we're going to practice the Nama versus Rupa. Rupa is our body, Nama is our spiritual self. We call this the wandering dragon chasing the pearl, separating the pearl from the dragon. The pearl is a body, including the breath. The dragon is Nama. So we come back to a posture. We sit properly, 7 support points, starting with the legs, then the hand, then the spine, then the shoulder, then the forehead and the chin, and then finally the eyelid and the tip of the tongue. And when all that is done, we lean back the upper torso, rotate the hip forward. That's our sitting posture. Then we focus on the breath. We start at knowing that I'll be breathing in. Knowing is enough. Knowing that I'm breathing out, one breath at a time. Since we practice Jing, we have a lot of qi in the body. It's very easy to observe a breath. Focus on the belly button. When you know that you're breathing in, move forward. When you know that you're breathing out, move back as if you're collapsing your belly button with the bottom of your spine. Again, know that you're breathing in, move forward. You notice your stomach expands. When you're breathing out, bring back the belly button. You notice your stomach collapses. So when it expands is when the diaphragm is being pushed down. And when it collapses is when the diaphragm is being pushed up. So let's just sit for 1 minute, focusing on the belly button, contemplating a breath. Breathe in, open the stomach. Breathe out, empty the stomach. Breathe in, move forward. Breathe out, move back. 1 minute, okay? Then we're going to sit for 3 minutes for sure, for real. This is just a warm-up exercise. Okay, now we're going to practice the what's called the microcosmic orbit, with understanding that we're not practicing the body, we're practicing our spirit. And so when you maintain your posture like this, we call this the one pillar supporting the sky, meaning that you are in between the heaven and earth. You are letting the energy passing through your spine. So whatever that is that you feel or you don't feel, it's really coming from outside, just happens to use your body as a conduit. I want you to focus at the bottom of the lower back now, at the back of your spine, at the lower back. Okay? As soon as you know that you're breathing in, I want you to rise like the dragon, one step at a time. Take your body with you. But this time, I don't want you to stop at the top of the head. I want you to let go of the dragon. Let it go. As if there's a cloud on top of your head and the dragon is returning back to the cloud. Let it go. And then once you reach the cloud, all you have to do is look down at yourself, seeing this body, and then wait for the breath again. And as soon as you know that you're breathing out, just relax, let the dragon come back, starting at the forehead. As you come down, lean back, and the dragon will return into your belly button. This is the yin energy, as if you're inside your mother's womb, or the yin energy from your mom comes into your belly button. And you just let it sit there until you're ready to breathe in again. Then you rise. And then when you're ready to breathe out again, then you let it fall back to the belly button. Okay, try the best, huh? Try your best. 3 minutes. Okay, we're over time. And always massage. Put your hands together, massage. Bring yourself back into this body. It's the only one you have. And the body is to help you practice. So, what do we practice? What is it that we're trying to do? Next time when you go to a Chinese temple, especially an old one that is built on the mountain, ask someone to translate the writings on top of the first door, and it translates into the door of the mountain. Mountain is san. It rhymes with three. In fact, it symbolizes the three door to your awakening. The first door is what we practice in the first sitting. It is the door of the dukkha, the suffering. The solution to your suffering is the acceptance of the impermanence. This second practice, the door is called the emptiness. It's understanding that the universe is empty of permanent nature, that everything rises and fades, including the body. So if you're able to enunciate your breath, let go your breath, then all of a sudden you understand that the body has a life of its own. It doesn't actually need you. It will breathe in, it will breathe out. That's the beginning of your salvation. That's called the emptiness door. Finally, the third door is much harder to understand, but if you use modern science, it basically tells you that it is about the space and time. It is about the beginning of the universe where there were no space and there were no time. So if you study the formation of the universe, we start with the Big Bang, except that there were no bang, there were no explosion. It was just a formation of a singularity, and then eventually, after about 400 million years, there was space. There was actually space between the first elementary particle, the protons. Once you have space, you have time. Okay? And so the third door is the going back to the beginning of the universe. Those are the practice. Okay. All right. So I'll see you all next week. Again, think of this as a boot camp, meaning that this is where you get a big burst of practice for an hour and a half. But the rest depends on you. The rest depends on you. So if you could find the time to practice on your own, either on your own or following the YouTube video, that's the practice. Okay. Now we're going to do 5 times. Lion's roar. Open your shoulder. Relax. Focusing on the elbow. Make sound. Wake up your neighbor. Okay. Get ready. Get the chi out. Bad chi. Okay. When you have time, go watch Matrix, the original one. That's Buddha's teaching. That what we live is a synthetic reality. Okay. And that black cat that walk across the frame of the door, that's the breath. That's when you realize that there's a space between the breath. Okay. All right. See you next week. Bye bye.